It's another amazing segment on Get Down to Business. David, you know why it's so amazing?
Tell me, Shalom.
Because we've got David Jacobson of Chicago Jewish Funerals.
And what else, Shalom?
Because it is almost Talia Jacobson's birthday.
That's right, March 31st.
And she's turning 22.
22,
happy birthday.
College.
Can we do a little happy birthday, George? He'll get it. He'll get it. Well, David, tell us why customer service is so important in your line of work.
I think customer service is so important in anyone's line of work because when people call you, you should be humbled and privileged and honored that someone's calling you to help them. And the first words out of your mouth should be thank you and yes, I'm here to help you.
So Pete Sikorsky earlier in the program told us who his customers are. Who are your customers? Who do you consider the customers of Chicago Jewish Funerals?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for being here, and Pete and Cassandra and Sarah. They were just phenomenal companies and interviewees, shall we say. We serve the Jewish community. We do funerals for people. We serve also the interfaith community. We serve everyone. Anyone who gives us the privilege to serve, that wants us to serve them, we just say yes, and we're present for them.
There must be a story behind how you got started. You're not like the big guys that are out there. So tell us a little bit about your history and your involvement in helping families and helping people.
I grew up in a small town in upstate New York. I went to college. I ran out of money in college. My brother got me a job in Chicago. I worked for one of the big funeral companies. We sold it to a big conglomerate. I realized that I could not work for a big company, and I just wanted to serve people. I'm a funeral director. I'm a proud Jewish funeral director. So I started the Chicago Jewish Funerals really on a shoestring, but I always had the feeling of just say yes and serve people and take care of them. And if you do that, it'll work.
So your motto is something that's easy to remember, but it's something that I think about a lot every single day, really, really every day. Tell us what the motto of Chicago Jewish Funerals is.
The way it should be.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, it's really meaning to the families that we serve that when they walk away from the experience, they say, that's the way it should be. They were taken care of. They were in a safe environment. And I also feel very strongly about being an advocate for the dead. I mean, who takes care of the actual dead person? And I'm very proud of the fact that we do it with dignity, with respect, and I actually pretend that every family that I serve, it's my family. It's my mom, my brother, my sister, and that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. So do you actually have a physical funeral home?
We have two, one in Buffalo Grove and one in Skokie. I'm a strong believer of how can you be a funeral director without a funeral home. So the people I know when we serve a family that their loved one is in my care, I'm sheltering them, I'm taking care of them, and that I'm not wholesaling out human remains as many people do out there. So I don't understand how people can be in a profession and take care of the dead and say, I'm here to take care of them if they're not in your home. And not my physical home, obviously, but my funeral home.
So, as the founder of Chicago Jewish Funerals, you must have a throne somewhere up there, and not really have much to do with the families, or do you take more of a personal involvement and personal role in the families that you work with?
I have no throne. I serve many families. I make contact with most of them. I introduce myself. I'll show up at funerals. If the family doesn't ask for me personally, I just go to funerals all day. Because I want to contact and I want to communicate with these people. And at the end of the day, all of our funeral directors call each family to see how they're doing. We do follow-ups. We do surveys. We want to know, was there anything we could have done better, or we want to make sure that they don't need anything extra. And if they do, we just say yes.
And there must be a lot of logistics involved in what you do. Without getting too deep into this, can you tell us about some of the stranger places that you've been in while taking care of a family and their needs?
I wouldn't go down that road. Any family that says they need me or need our company, I would not classify that as strange. I'm just going to accept that as normal for them and say, yes, I'm here for you. We serve people that are captains of industry or in Hollywood, or the person that, like me, just, the average worker, and I feel each one is equally as important. And I feel that when people of notoriety come and ask us for our help, we give them help. We don't care that, and I don't think they want to be known as someone of notoriety or someone of great influence in the business community. Someone died, they're in pain, we're here to help them.
David, what's the USPS slogan? Isn't it something like neither rain nor sleet nor snow? Something like that?
Could be.
Okay. I think you do a better job than they do.
I'm honored that you said that. That's true. Nothing. We work all the time, 24/7. As you all know, Shalom, from being in the community, I'm always working, and I never say no as long as I'm physically able. And sometimes it's to the chagrin of my family, but it's also, I mean, I still feel humbled every time that phone rings. And my staff's always saying to me, or the people I work with, they'll say, how can this be that you feel like it's the first time every time? And I'm like, well, this is the first time someone died in this family, and you need to have that same energy, the same compassion, the same empathy, because that's what they want and that's what they need. And if we're here to do our jobs correctly or our career calling correctly, then we have to be there for them.
And that's the way it should be. That is the way it should be. So, David, how can people get in touch with you? You have a philosophy. You have a philosophy that hopefully every business owner should be taking, regardless of what industry they're in. I know that you deal with families and you deal with people's lives, but every business owner should be taking their customers as seriously as you do. How can people get a hold of you?
www.chicagojewishfunerals.com or 847-229-8822.
ChicagoJewishFunerals.com. David is the best. Works very closely in community, and I consider it a privilege to have David as a partner in that work. After the break, I've got some tips for you on how you can improve your employee incentive program. You're listening to Get Down to Business.